Welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm Fox, and I think it's time to actually discuss the Gumball finale in detail. Now, on this channel, we like to critique cartoons fairly. I'm never down for mindless bashing unless it's something played off as like a joke. But every now and then an animated film or an episode of a TV show will come out that is just, well, not good in my eyes. This does not mean my word is law, but it does mean I want to have a dialogue about it, putting it out there into the world on the internet, so whenever anyone asks, hey, what's your opinion on this? I can just link them to a video and save on ranting. And unfortunately, something I never thought would happen, this is the case with the Amazing World of Gumball series finale, the Inquisition. You may have seen a lot of backlash for this finale online, or you may have watched the finale and also didn't enjoy it, or maybe you did enjoy it and you're a bit surprised to see a lot of people straight up dislike it. So I just want to share my own viewpoint, my own thoughts, my own opinions. Why didn't I enjoy the finale of the Amazing World of Gumball? Why do I think it's a bad series finale of an animated series? Now look guys, even the creator has distanced himself from the creative decision behind ending the finale the way it did. So while I do want to acknowledge a lot of hard work definitely went into this finale, it ultimately did not create a satisfying product. This doesn't mean anyone who worked on the episode doesn't deserve to be in animation, or that they can't write or can't draw or any of the sort. It just means for all intents and purposes, they didn't create an effective series finale. So that actually takes me to my first point. The premise of the episode is not worthy of being a finale. A live-action human being coming to Elmore to remove the thing that makes Gumball unique, being an animated series. While this likely serves as a commentary on growing up, live action taking over, animation being out the door, or live action remix as I've suggested in a previous video, and while that makes for an interesting episode, it doesn't make for an interesting finale. What about the premise of this finale or its execution brings the show full circle? How does it attest to the growth of these characters of the series? Sure, the way Gumball snaps some of these characters out of their humanized state does rely on a bit of continuity, but if you've never seen an episode of this show before, you would likely still get it. I feel as if finale shouldn't only provide an ending, but serve as a statement to its franchise as a whole. I've always said I view the MCU as a TV show, and each phase is a season. Avengers Endgame is a good finale, not because it's a save-the-world story or brings every character together, although yes, that was amazing, but because its stakes rely on the relationships of the core Avengers, their growth, the natural conclusion their arcs come to. Now yes, Gumball is tonally different from Avengers, but you can still have the same emotional weight and storytelling through a more comedic execution. But if we're looking at just cartoons, look at Gravity Falls. The premise of its finale was a great testament to the series itself. A family coming together to mend their broken relationships to save the world against supernatural creatures in a way that requires their wits and personalities. Everything in the finale of Gravity Falls can be found sprinkled throughout other episodes of the show. You know what? Actually, here's a better comparison than both Avengers and Gravity Falls, as these are two primary comedy-driven shows that aired on Cartoon Network: Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and Chowder. The series finale of Foster's wasn't some grand-scale adventure to save the world, yet it still managed to be a very compelling storyline because it played on the premise of the show. Everyone under the impression that Mac is moving away, that he would no longer be able to visit Blue, as the entire conflict of the series was that if Mac does not show up by 3 o'clock every day, Blue will be put up for adoption. But over the course of the series, Mac has formed relationships with all of these characters. So the idea of Mac moving away isn't just crushing because Blue could be adopted. No, it goes far beyond that. It's because these bonds that Mac has formed over the years could be severed. And although the conflict ended up being a fake out the entire time, as Mac reveals, oh no, I'm just moving to a different apartment in my complex, I'm not moving away, it didn't undermine anything in the episode, because it still brought the entire series full circle. The finale works because it took the status quo of the show and all the characters we came to know and love and put all of them in jeopardy. There were personal stakes, something that is lacking in Gumball's finale. On the other hand, let's look at Chowder Grows Up, where the entire point of that series finale wasn't to solve some overarching mystery or turn the concept of the show on its head, but it was just a simple flash forward into the future to see where all these characters end up. Yet what was great about it is that it still managed to bring everything full circle by having Chowder as the master cook with his own apprentice. Of all things, why didn't Gumball have a finale like this? Something like Chowder Grows Up would have worked way better as a conclusion for Gumball than the Inquisition. Even Camp Lazlo's finale is something where the stakes weren't super high, but it still worked as a conclusion because Scoutmaster Lumpus created the problem in that finale. For once, it wasn't any of the campers. It was all on Lumpus, and then we had a reveal that changed everything about the series. It was kind of out of left field, but it also made sense. Again, something that Gumball is way better suited for. Although you could argue the Inquisition tried doing something like this, but it failed. For Gumball, while the Void itself is perfect for a series finale, as it's a very meta entity in itself, Rob masquerading as a live-action human to remove cartoonish behavior, it just sounds like a regular episode. It has nothing to do with the Watterson family. It barely has anything to do with the city of Elmore as a whole. It's just underwhelming. But that actually takes me to my next point, the cast. The final episode of Gumball only features students of Elmore Junior High. When I think of Gumball, I think of the Watterson family before I think of any of Gumball's peers and classmates. No Anais, no Nicole, no Richard, none of Gumball's zany, wacky neighbors. It's ridiculous that this is the final episode of the series. I'm more invested in the Watterson family. Yet the problem is, they couldn't have done this premise of trying to remove cartoonish behavior from the Wattersons because they already did it this season. We're the mayor, who's just President Trump. I mean, yes, it's funny. I'm not gonna try to put Gumball down for having social commentary. It honestly is hilarious that Trump is the mayor. And people who find this show down the line when Trump is way out of office, they're either still gonna know it's Trump or just think it's a funny looking human in a show full of talking animals and clouds and whatever the case may be. But because we already had an episode of the Wattersons trying to be normal, where the climax of the episode saw them turn into humans, it would feel a little bit redundant if they were included in this finale, which I think that in itself already shows the issues with this premise. Now, before I go into my final point, I just want to address a statement that goes hand in hand with this final point. Anyone who says, well, the movie will be the finale, it's meant to go into the movie, if we get a movie, this ending will be better. My final point number 3, is that this will always be the end of the television series. Not only did whoever decided to end this episode like this decide to bank on Cartoon Network funding a movie, which, keep in mind, is definitely a lot more expensive than an 11-minute episode, but they decided that Gumball as a TV series will always have this shot right here as its final scene. Anyone who finds Gumball in the distant future, and let's say they watch it on Hulu, all 6 seasons. They binge all of it, they're having a grand old time, they start watching season 6, they're like, ooh, are we getting a story going on here? I can't wait until the final episode. And then they make it to the final episode and then they just go, wait, what the heck was that? They look it up, oh, there's a movie. Oh, it's also not on Hulu because for whatever reason they didn't get the rights from Cartoon Network. Oh, well, you know, I'm just like a 10-year-old kid who can't afford to buy the movie, so I guess I'm just never finishing Gumball. Or alternatively, watchcartoons.com. Gumball movie. Yeah, who needs to support the official release? Why are you adding an extra hoop for people to finish a series? Like, honestly, if they wanted a TV movie so bad, why not, and hear me out, just scrap a few episodes from season 6, and then 4 or 5 of those episode segments can be made into the movie. I mean, like, really, I'm sure that for a movie, they could have knocked out some of those episodes, and maybe they already tried this, maybe they could have asked Cartoon Network for an extension of the season, which I get is inherently more money, but Steven Universe 5th season, which at one point was clearly going to be the final season, has 29 episodes, but they're really 32 episodes because Change Your Mind takes up 4 episodes in production. But still, the normal episode order is 26. And considering how immensely popular Gumball is, I do believe that if they actually didn't go for it, it really could have worked out. Considering the creator Ben Boquelet's first tweet about the movie was in March 2018, and here we are over a year later in June 2019, the final episode could have been near its storyboarding process, so there could just be a possibility the movie was an afterthought when they realized they wouldn't be able to tell the story they wanted to in their initial episode order. Also, are we not just going to acknowledge the fact that if a movie isn't greenlit by now and they're not just, not saying anything because they legally can't, then it would take a year or 2 for that movie to come out. A year or 2 after the finale. Are kids even still gonna be thinking about Gumball by then? I mean, truly, it's a miracle that shows like Steven Universe can survive such a lengthy hiatus that it already has. And I feel like in terms of a children demographic, Gumball Gumball probably is bigger than Steven, but going that long without new episodes, and we all know Cartoon Network has an actual channel. When a show ends, reruns linger for a little bit, but they subside shortly after. Now yes, the app is all that right now. Streaming is the future, but is Cartoon Network really going to cater to Gumball on the streaming service? Or are they going to push their newer shows, you know, with new content that can make new money? Maybe I'm just being a negative Nancy here, but by all accounts, I just don't see why they ended the finale like this. And there you have it. That's why I think Gumball's finale was dissatisfying, why I didn't like it. The jokes, the writing, they were fine, but they weren't the level of a finale. And yeah, this finale would probably go down in infamy, especially if there isn't a movie after all. But let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you hate my guts? Let us know in the comments below. I'm recording this really early in the morning. I need some coffee or something. I'm gonna go get food. I usually don't like making negative videos, but this was kind of cathartic for me. Tweet what's cathartic for you at Roundtable Vids or at me at MikeCatSU. We're also on Instagram. You can help the Roundtable Girl by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. MikeCatSU signing out.